Every person in the society must be given an equal opportunity to rise and shine as per their little talents. And therefore, I think it is important to build a participatory society so that every human being is treated with humanity and they can live a life of dignity as an empowered and self reliant entity.
Social activism is an intentional action with the goal of bringing about a social change. If you are someone who feels strongly about a cause and are working towards bringing a social change, you might be considered as a social activist. Hello and welcome to yet another very inspiring episode of Women Influencers Talk Show. My name is Sadaf, and as promised, every week we bring to you influential women as they come on this platform and talk about their success stories and their journeys of life. So if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also press the bell icon. Whenever we will upload a new video, you will get the notification. So welcome aboard. Hello friends. Dhwani Jain is an engineer who turned into a social entrepreneur in pursuit of her dream to build an inclusive and participatory society wherein every individual lives a life of dignity as an empowered and self-reliant entity. She decided to quit her corporate career and is now successfully running her non-profit organization called Karma Foundation. Welcome to Women Influencers Talk Show. How are you doing, Dhwani?
Thank you so much, Sada, for having me here today. It is such a pleasure to be speaking to all of you today in the forum of Women Influencers Talk Show, and greetings to all our viewers. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Dhwani, your dream was to build an inclusive and participatory society, as I mentioned before. So what exactly do you mean by participatory society, and why do you think it is important?
Every person in the society must be given an equal opportunity to rise and shine as per their little talents. And therefore, I think it is important to build a participatory society so that every human being is treated with humanity and they can live a life of dignity as an empowered and self-reliant entity. In fact, that is also enshrined in our constitution, and hence each one of us should work towards this goal.
That's so true, and it's just not a noble cause but involves everyone and builds a strong community. Dhwani, can you please explain to our viewers what exactly is social entrepreneurship?
So, social entrepreneurship, I think, is neither philanthropy or charity, nor it is business in the usual conventional terms. So, traditionally, we have seen how businesses have misused the resources for their material gains, and that has harmed both the ecology, environment, as well as led to the rise in inequality in the society. So I feel to build a more equal society so that each person can benefit, we need to have more social enterprises, and they are built on the premise that it is not only the profit aim but rather they work for bringing about a social change. So I'll give you an example. Traditionally we have followed the polluter pays principle, in which a business organization would probably make profits using the resources, using the natural as well as human resources, and then they would probably give away a part of that money for charity. But I feel this model is no more sustainable, and we need to stop that in the very beginning. Prevention is always better than cure, and hence there is need for more social enterprises in the world these days.
Oh yes, and believe me, there has been a big shift in the behavior of people who till last year did not think about society in general, but this COVID-19 situation has made a behavioral shift in their nature. They have come forward and have contributed to the society, and believe me, they are just loving it and have made this a part of their life, and that's just incredible. Dhwani, you wear so many different hats. You are just not the founder of Karma Foundation, but also the state president of WICCI and an expert speaker and so much more. So how do you manage so many different roles?
Yes, if you look at them closely, all of these roles are so interconnected. And I feel if you're really passionate about what you're doing or you do what you love, then you never get tired. And most importantly, when you see that your work is making an impact in someone's life, or when you're able to bring a smile on someone's face, that feeling gives you so much contentment that you just keep crossing your own limits. And I feel that is what keeps me motivated and keeps me going. And of course, there's a role of time management as well. I would not deny that. And a quick tip for all our viewers, which in fact I have also recently learned, is to manage your time in minutes and not in hours. And once you start doing that, you would never have paucity of time. So that was my quick tip for all our viewers.
Thank you so much for that important advice. Dhwani, you are an engineer by profession and there is so much hard work and dedication that goes behind becoming one. Dhwani, did you ever think that there'll be a shift in your thought process, so much so that you will turn into a social entrepreneur?
Oh, that feeling to give back to the society, that was always there since childhood, and I think that runs in the blood. In fact, even in my engineering days, I was a part of the National Service Scheme NSS, and we ran multiple campaigns throughout the villages of Kumaon area. So, as far as change in career is concerned, I feel I pursued BTech primarily to learn new things, to gain technical knowledge and expertise. And we never tell a cricketer or a singer that why are you completing your education. Similarly, for me, pursuing BTech was a academic preference, and that has actually helped me a lot in this journey as well. And taking on this path of social entrepreneurship was a life choice that I took to bring about a change in the society that I wish to see. And therefore, I always call myself an engineer by qualification and a social entrepreneur by choice.
Well, I'm sure if others too have this clarity of thought, life will become so simple and easy. Dhwani, did the atmosphere in which you grew up ever make you feel in your inner or outer social circle the need to be working towards gender equality or women's safety?
To be honest, I'm blessed to be born in a most egalitarian and gender neutral family. And to the extent that as a child, when I saw some kind of gender biased behaviors in the society, I could not even comprehend it because I did not know that such a thing existed. But as we start interacting with the outside world and we experience more things, so we realize the fault lines that exist in the society. And slowly I realized that the things that I had taken for granted, which I thought was just easily available, was not accessible to a majority of girls. And therefore I thought it is important that we do something to build a more gender neutral world. And that is not only for the benefit of our daughters, but also for our sons. And specifically when we talk about safety, I think that is the single most important variable that stops a lot of girls from achieving what they can. And I feel that we must be doing something about women's safety so that the women of our country, the women of the world, enjoy a life where they are free from the fear of being abused and they live a life of dignity. So that was the idea when I started working on gender sensitization and women's safety issues.
That's wonderful. Women's safety involves safe spaces, and I'm sure the work that you are doing gives hope to so many. Dhwani, how do you balance your entrepreneurial life with your friends who don't understand the challenges we experience?
Yeah, that remains a challenge, but I think all of us have a different set of struggles, and we can never evaluate who has more challenges in life or who leads a more comfortable life. So I would rather not judge, and these are the life choices that we have made as per our own circumstances. So rather than judging, I think when I meet my old friends, I just try to relive my old days and have a good time with all of them rather than discussing about our work issues. So yes.
Well, it is very important to unwind with friends. Dhwani, you started your own non-profit organization called Karma Foundation. So what was the idea behind it and what are the goals that you want to achieve through it?
I started Karma Foundation in 2020 during the pandemic time, and the vision was to bring about a positive change in the society through our own actions, and hence the name Karma. So I feel that each one of us is an integral and important part of the society. We make the society, and rather than cribbing about the problems that exist in the society, we should become a part of the solution. And to bring about any change, I think a constant and concerted effort and action is required at the end of each one of us. And it is a threefold process. So, when we see that there is some problem that exists in the society, we first need to think about it. So, that is the power of thoughts. Once we realize, once we talk to ourselves about the problem, then we become vocal about it. And then we start a movement around that moment. That is the time when visible action is taken. So, this is a threefold process to bring about any change in the society, and hence I say that the power of thoughts, words, and actions is immense and can actually bring a revolution in the society, and we can be instrumental in bringing about the change that we wish to see.
That's right. In fact, I believe that one should surround and connect with like-minded people, especially if you are doing something for the society. Now, something that very much amazes me about you is that you started a wellness center in Tihar jail. So what was the reason behind doing so? Please tell.
You know, when I talk about building an inclusive society, that is not merely a talk. So I feel inmates, like anyone else, is a human first, and they too deserve the right to live a life of dignity. And yes, they have taken law into their hands. Yes, they have committed a mistake, but that is why they are being punished as per the law of the land, as per the legal provisions. The motive should be to reform them and rehabilitate them back to the society. Hence the idea of working with the prisoners so that we could improve their quality of life and bring them back to the society as productive members.
That must be very interesting and challenging. Dhwani, I have read that you have a desire to place India on the international cultural map. In fact, you are a part of the leadership team as the Director of Administration and Planning for the most prestigious arts festival. So how are you planning the steps to achieve that?
So India has a rich cultural diversity, and we are known across the globe for our cultural heritage. So I wish to promote India as a cultural hub with the aim of fostering cultural diplomacy as well as tourism, which I feel will also help in boosting our soft power. After all, the culture of any nation reveals the soul of the nation, which also impacts our influence in the world. And in the long run, it would also help in securing our national interests. So going forward, I would like to curate more such programs wherein we can showcase the art, culture and crafts of the nation. And this would also be in tune with the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji.
Well, definitely. Cultural heritage is the legacy of cultural resources that we inherit from the past generation, and it is our duty to preserve it. Dhwani, while the list of your awards and acknowledgement is endless, your work as an exemplary social entrepreneur is outstanding. So how did you overcome the hurdles that came in your way?
I think hurdles are an integral part of our life, and in fact, the life would become so boring without them. It would become just so dull. In fact, problems and challenges actually give us an opportunity to grow and become limitless. So if I talk about my journey as a social entrepreneur, the biggest challenge has been the generation of funds, more so because of the perception of people towards the NGOs. And for that, I think we need to have a very clear roadmap in front of us. The next challenge has been the bias of society towards gender and age. And I was often judged, and people did doubt my ability to make my dreams come true. But at that time, my faith helped me to keep moving, and as a result, a lot of people have seen my work and started believing in me and joined this journey. The next one I would say was to keep my team motivated at all time, because we were working in the paucity of funds and time. The deadlines were so strict, so keeping them motivated was a challenge, and for that communication played a major role. So we worked as a family, and we would apprise each other of all the problems and then work together to just deal with every challenge that came our way. So my mantra would be to remain focused, having a firm belief in your mission, and to remain positive in the face of adversity.
Dhwani, you have a very positive approach towards life, and I'm just loving it. So my next question to you is that as a woman, did you ever feel unequal or judged? And do you think if you were not a woman, things would have been easier for you at work?
I'm not sure if it would have been easier or not, but definitely it would have been different. And like I mentioned in the previous question as well, I was often under the radar for being a woman and constantly being judged. And to be honest, in spite of all the talk about gender parity, gender equality and all, though change is coming slowly, but still when we go at the grassroots level, when we step into the real world, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Women are still being judged, and we are expected to follow the gender norms. And since I have worked both in the corporate as well as in the social sector, I would say the situation is a bit better in the corporate. And particularly talking about my journey, I remember there have been times when my ideas were ignored, and when the same ideas came from a male colleague, they were accepted. And honestly, it did hurt me in the beginning, but then I thought, fine, at least the idea is being implemented, and in fact it has made me learn how to work with people of different ideologies. But honestly, I would not want our future generation to face the same, and I would like to become a part of the movement where we can change this very aspect, and would like our daughters to live in a world where they are not judged for their gender and they are respected for what they actually are. So I would really want to see a more gender inclusive society being built.
Dhwani, you are right. Gender inequality is an evil that plagues the society even today, and we must do something about it very soon. Now, you inspire so many women out there. So what message, what tips and advice would you give to someone who is just starting out?
I would just say, believe in yourself. Keep following your passions, keep following your heart, and don't be bogged down by what people say you can or cannot do. After all, you know yourself the best. People would probably know just 2-3 traits of your personality, which you must have demonstrated to them at some point of time. So, evaluate yourself rationally and give your 100% to whatever you want to do, whatever you aspire to achieve. Give your 100% to that.
Thank you so much. Dhwani, although you've been there and done that, but I'm sure there is a lot on your bucket list to achieve. So please share it with us.
So right now I'm focusing on the ongoing projects, but definitely in the long run I wish to create an ecosystem where we can nurture the talent of our youth, particularly the girls, to enable them to realize their inner Shakti and to shape them into future leaders.
Well, all the very best for your empowering vision. Now I would like to ask you, what are your thoughts about our show?
This is a wonderful initiative, Sadaf. I think you're doing an amazing job by connecting the women influencers from across the globe and featuring their stories. I'm sure this will inspire millions of other boys and girls to dream big and achieve their dreams. So I wish the entire team of Women Influencers Talk Show success in their future endeavors. More power to you and your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dhwani, for coming on our show and gracing us with your presence and also sharing about your life and your vision. All the very best for it. And all you beautiful people, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon for future notification, and also share the link of this video with your family and friends. And thank you so much for helping us grow and come this far. So till we meet next time again with another incredible lady, please take care of yourself, stay positive, stay healthy, and always be happy.